Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I thought about making a video for you guys showcasing my Xesht and Arbiter attempts, but more important than the fights themselves, I wanted to show you some updates I've been working on with the build. And I know that my videos so far have been really long and boring, so I'm going to do my best to try and keep this as short as possible. I'll just show you the fights real quick, and then I'll go over the things I was doing in those fights and how exactly they tie into the build itself.
That's our one. She is too. Destiny unknown. The hive shall spill forth. We that fail. You are too late. The fourth edict already burns for your blade. Your affliction upon her will soon be erased.
There are no more
Another
lands
soul.
left for me to conquer.
So I know that at this point killing these two bosses isn't really something to flex about, but if you've watched my other videos you will know that one of my main goals on this character was to clear everything in a game with 0 elemental resistances, and at first I didn't think that was possible. I thought I wouldn't probably get past tier 12 maps or something, but so far it seems that it worked pretty well and only Simulacrum is left to go. So maybe just a small flex. So let's get into it. Keep in mind please that these changes are still experimental. They are not something that I've permanently added to the build. They are just things that I've been playing with recently to see if they can add more value to this build. The first thing is Pain Attunement. This gives us 30% less critical damage bonus when on full life, which is obviously bad, 30% more critical damage bonus when on low life, and we pair this with Coward's Legacy. Normally, we are considered at low life at 30% to 35%. With Coward's Legacy, we are considered at low life starting with 89%. This can go as high as 92 if you have a perfect corruption on it. Yeah, so what we are trying to do is get to low life as soon as possible, so we have that critical damage bonus as much as possible. If we check the tooltip, we see that we have 210 right now because we are at full life. We have 90 in minus, but as soon as we cast the totem, we go under 90, and we can check we have a big bonus of 390 critical damage bonus. This helps a lot because, as you know, Gore Spike's bonus isn't added in the tooltip, so if we had 30% more critical damage with considering this as well, the bonus would actually be about 100, 140 depending on your life at the moment. So it's a big bonus, but unfortunately it's not something that you should be using all the time, especially in maps, because in maps you will be quite frequently at full health, probably even beyond full health because of sanguinancy and the way that health globes stack. So this is something that you might consider when doing pinnacle bosses like I did in the video, or instances where you believe the bosses are really hard to beat or things like that, but not something you would use all the time on the build. Still a pretty cool addition, and something really really helpful when you're fighting pinnacle bosses. The second thing is about weapon swapping. Weapon swapping is obviously nothing new. A lot of people have been using it, making videos about it, or talking about it. But I wanted to show you how you can use it efficiently in this build and what exactly you need to do to achieve this. So what is weapon swapping? Weapon swapping basically allows you to link one of your skills to your alternate weapons slot. In this case, we will link Ancestral Warrior to our dual-handed maces. Yeah. So what this does is gives us an extra plus level to all melee skills. In this case, it's +7. And how this looks is like this. I use the skill, it swaps to maces. I block, it swaps to shield. How I can achieve this is go to my skills, check Ancestral Warrior Totem, and see that it's checked for the second weapon swap. That means every time I use the Ancestral Warrior, it swaps to my dual maces. Every time I will use Resonating Shield, because the first box is checked, it will swap to my shield. Okay. First thing first, you will need to get some decent weapons that you can use on your second slot. So I recommend you try to get at least +6, so the damage bonus is significant. Also, beware that you need to meet the requirements. Make sure you meet the attribute requirements on both slots. These weapon slots also can have their own skill tree points. In this case, you can see I have the block nodes right here because I'm using the shield. Okay, so I have a lot of block nodes. But if I swap to my dual handing maces, there's no need for these block nodes because I can block without a shield. So all these skill trees, these skill points have been swapped to damage points, and this helps our damage again very, very much. Okay, the way you can achieve this, if you don't know, is just have say 10 extra skill points, so reset 10 points. First, you click on the first weapon sweat, you select the block nodes, then you click on the second weapon sweat set and you select the damage nodes. And that's how it's going to work. Okay, now, should you use this all the time? No. Why is that? Because even though we still have, even though we have this cluster that helps with weapon speed, it's still a bit clunky and you will feel this in maps, so it's gonna hinder your progress a bit when going through maps. That's why I don't recommend you use this all the time, and also it's going to hurt your cost pretty much, because if you can see this way, we have a life cost of 2000 for Ancestral Warrior Totem. If we cast it a few times, we are already almost dead. So it's not something that at this point you can use all the time, but what I recommend you do is just like the Pain Attunement thing. You can use this for bosses. Actually, this is a lot easier to set up than the belt and Pain Attunement. You just need one click. So what you can do is go in the map, clear the map. Once you reach the boss, you make sure that you have only the second weapon slot checked for Ancestral Warrior Totem, and when you go back to killing monsters, you make sure you have both of them checked so it won't swap anymore. What this does is maintain the same pace that you had till now, and will also provide a big boost when fighting bosses, because you can set these totems before the phase actually begins, and with them set you can just Resonating Shield and kill the boss with a few hits. That's actually what I did in the videos with Arbiter and the Breach boss, so that's what you can also do to help when bossing. Just a small side note, if all this weapon swapping stuff seems too confusing or overly complicated, don't worry about it. You don't need to use it. It's just something, an extra tool that you can add to your build at some point. You don't need to use it now, maybe you will in the future, but it's not something you need. You can keep going and use the build the same way you were using it till now. So this is what I've been testing lately. Overall, I'm pretty satisfied with how the build is performing, and I'm also looking forward to see how it's going to do in Simulacrum. Hopefully I will complete the challenge of clearing everything in the game with 0 resistances, so stay tuned for that video. If you have any questions or feedback about today's video or about the build overall, feel free to drop a comment and I will answer it as soon as I can. If you haven't checked out the build guide yet, the video will be in the description, so check it out. And also, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching the video and see you in the next one. Bye.